Hey guys, it's me, Troy Dellinger, and I'm going to be talking on a series about the study of Christ, which is a fancy term, a theological term that some people call Christology. And I'm going to do a couple videos, Lord willing, but today I'm going to be talking about a heresy called Monosphytism. Monosphytism is a heresy that teaches that the human nature and the divine nature of Jesus are mixed up, they're intermingled. But that's a heresy because it deifies the humanity of Christ, and it makes almost God like a man God. You know what I'm saying? Like what you see in Greek mythology, and it's heretical and it's pagan, and we gotta be careful that we don't fall into the heresy because there's so many people that I think that are kind of getting mixed up. They think that Jesus is like a man God or something like that. But that's idolatry because the Bible does say that God is not a man. That's why Christians and Jews and we don't believe that God is a man. Let's take a look at a couple verses. So it says in Hosea 11, verse 9, that God is not a man. It says, I am God and not a man. Or I am God and not man in the King James version of the Bible. So, here God is saying that he's not a man. The Bible says that God is invisible. The Bible says that God has no form or figure. The Bible says that God is a spirit, and a spirit does not have a body of flesh and blood. So you say, what's the deal? Because Jesus is a man, which of course he is. He is a man, and he is also God. He is God and man. He's 100% God, 100% man. I did a video about this a while back about how Jesus has two natures, the human nature and the divine nature. So he's fully God and fully man, and a lot of people kind of pass this off. They don't think that this is really important, that, this is all just like theology. But, this is actually very important because if you don't correctly understand the humanity and deity of Christ, then you're going to fall into heresy. You're going to either fall into Gnosticism, which says that Jesus is not a man, and that's a heresy, or you're going to fall into, you know, a heresy that Jesus is not God, or you're going to fall into a heresy that Jesus is a man God, which is Monosphytism. So we got to have this understanding because it's very important. I wouldn't be doing a video about this if this wasn't important. Because, this is about the nature of who Christ is, and you have to worship the right Jesus because the Bible warns that there is another Jesus. Okay, so we don't want to be idolaters. We don't want to worship a man God. We want to worship God, Jesus Christ, as God in the flesh, and the Bible says that he is God in the flesh. He is fully God and fully man, and he has two natures that are joined together as one person, but they are two distinct natures, not separate natures, but distinct or distinguished. Just like we're all joined together. We have a body, we have a soul, we have a spirit, and it's almost kind of similar to what I'm talking about here. So that's pretty much all that I've got. Just be careful with this. Be careful of the graven images of Jesus that we see. We just don't want to get really wrapped up into that. That's all I got.